back to the It's Just Sport podcast paper review. I'm Joanne.
I'm Natalya. One of the big news stories on today is that Joanna's got her hair done. So how was your trip to the hairdressers?
I feel about 10 pounds lighter, guys. I am so stoked. Thanks for the support. Thanks for being a part of the process of me giving out about my hair. But yeah, it is pretty good. But if we have an action-packed show full of absolute good news and record-breaking and so much, so let's get into it.
Yeah, so first things first, there is big news as the Irish rowing team have qualified 2 boats for the Olympic Games. So the women's 4 and the lightweight double made their qualification time at the weekend. It was massive news for everyone. I think the expectation was there that the 4 would be in with a good shot, but the lightweight double were certainly the underdogs. And the last year, the extra year that they have gotten certainly has played to their advantage. The 4 won their race. They progressed through the rounds very well and they won the final. So it's certainly a boat to watch as we head towards the Tokyo Olympic Games. The lightweight double came third. It was the third of 3 qualifying places. So the reason that there was actually 3 qualifying places available in the lightweight double was because another country actually pulled out. So it really was a great opportunity for the Irish to get themselves in there, and we're delighted to see the lightweight double of Margaret Cremen and Aoife Casey qualify. We'll hopefully be chatting to them soon on the podcast, so definitely watch out for that. This weekend at Lucerne, there will be the World Cup 2, and this will feature a number of Irish crews again. So we will see Aileen Crowley and Monica Tokarska in the pair. They're the pair that will be going to the Tokyo Olympic Games. Then we will have Tara Hanlon and Clare Feerick also competing in the pair event. And then we will have 2-time world and European champion Sanita Puspure in the women's single, and we'll also have lightweight sculler Lydia Healy competing as well. All eyes will be on Sanita as she makes her debut this season. People will be wondering how is she going to compare to everybody at the moment. What kind of stage is she at, because she's certainly a medal hopeful for the Tokyo Olympic Games. Over in athletics, we had more big news as Rhasidat Adeleke broke the 200-meter record. She's certainly got a shot now at getting into those Tokyo Olympics as well. She took the record from Phil Healy, who was very commending of Rhasidat, which is great to see. They're all excited to be pushing Irish sport forward. So Phil said, massive congratulations, Rhasidat, insane run and unreal performances across all distances to date. No doubt there's plenty more to come. Great to see her have such support for a teammate. In the US, Sive Butner and Georgie Hartigan were in action at a track meet. There was great running from the Irish, with Sive finishing second in the 1500 metres in time of 4:13.96. It's not her main event, so she'll be just getting started this season and focusing on the 800 over the coming months. Georgie Hartigan competed in the 800 metres. She ran 2:03.48 in her season opener. Her personal best of in indoors is 2:01, so we'll be looking at her. She'll definitely go faster over the coming season, as that indoor time was just from a couple of months ago. Nadia Power is in action at the Continental Tour Gold in Ostrava tomorrow. That's between 5 and 7 p.m. and will be available on Sport TG Cahir. So definitely tune in to see some of the top talent across the world and what might be in store for some of the Olympic Games, because I know Daphne Shippers is in action as well, and some of the other big names.
Yeah, no, it is very exciting, Neve, to see all the records being broken and to see the rowing as well going so well. I was informed by my ex-UCC scholarship officer that the 2 girls, Margaret in particular, actually took my scholarship spot. So best of luck to Margaret and everything that she is doing. And no doubt she is representing UCC a lot better than I certainly could. And we do wish, obviously, all the rest of the rowing girls all the best as well. In kayaking news, there was racing over the last week at the European Canoe Sprint Championships in Hungary. This was the last chance for Irish qualifiers to secure a place at Tokyo. If you qualify for the final in the K1 200, it wasn't good enough because you had to qualify in the top 2 spots. Jenny Egan unfortunately finished 8th which was a little bit disappointing for her. She's a great credit to her country and an incredible ambassador for the canoe sprints and for kayaking in general. It is a very difficult sport to qualify for, as there are very limited numbers. So the odds kind of were against her a little bit, but Jenny's a tough cookie. We all kind of had hopes that she'd pull through, but fingers crossed. Anyways, it won't be the last we'll see of Jenny. We have better news in modern pentathlon because Natalya Coyle finished fifth in the World Cup final with 25th place for Sive Brassil. It moves her up actually in the Olympic rankings, but her attention will be turned to the World Championship in June, where there will be massive points to be won. It's obviously a great experience for both athletes. I think Natalya Coyle had tweeted that the format is basically an Olympic format, so it was great for her to get the experience and to see what she could be up against. And I mean, she came fifth, which is obviously quite good, and she knows the standard now, so she'll hopefully push on. And fingers crossed for her at the Olympics, and fingers crossed for Sive as well that she will move up the rankings and qualify as well. It's great to have two people involved. So yeah, best of luck to everyone.
Yeah, no, definitely. We are seeing Sive inch closer and closer. So fingers crossed she bags that Olympic qualification. And this will be Natalya's third Olympic Games, and she improves every year. So fingers crossed. I know she's aiming for a podium finish. There's lots of action in swimming at the moment. It kicked off on Monday at the European competition. So the 4x100 meter relay team finished 12th with a new national record. That was with Mona McSherry, Danielle Hill, Victoria Patterson and Erin Reardon. We'll be waiting to see if there is a possibility of Olympic qualification. You have to be within the top 16 rankings to get that qualification spot. So it certainly bodes well that they're, finished up in 12th place. Mona McSherry has progressed to the 100 meter breaststroke semi-final after a 106.97 swim. The first Irish mixed relay team raced today, the 4x200 mixed relay, and they've advanced to the final following a new Irish record in a time of 7:51.24. This team had Max McCusker, Brendan Hyland, Naomi Trait and Victoria Catterson, who will be racing the final tonight. On Thursday, we will see the mixed 4x100 meters medley. We will also see the Niamh Coyne in action on Saturday in the 50 meter breaststroke, as well as the mixed 4x100 meters freestyle. And then on Sunday, we will have the women's 4x100 meters medley relay as well. So we'll be looking for top finishes. We want to see those relay teams heading to Tokyo, and it's certainly within their grasp. So keep tuning into RT Player over the next couple of days to see the action. Also in a different part of Europe, we have the World Para Swimming European Championships. Nicole Turner was in her first event today in the 200 meters IM. She finished in third place in 3:11.78 in her heat and will go on to compete in finals tonight. Roisin Irene has been in 3 events so far. She competed in the 100 meters butterfly on day 1 and finished in 6th place. She then finished 4th in the final of the 100 meters breaststroke, swimming a new personal best, also advancing to the finals. And she then finished 4th in her heat and the 100 meter freestyle today, which should be in that final tonight. She's 4 more events to go, so she's a busy woman in this competition, and we look forward to seeing Nicole and Roisin in action during the rest of the week.
It's crazy when Roisin literally came off the flight for the qualifiers in Ireland for the national competitions. She literally just got off the plane, got her COVID test, was obviously negative, and then hopped straight into the pool. So she is a very busy lady, a much more exciting 16-year-old, I think, than a lot of people. In diving news, there was 2 finals for Clare Cryan at the European Aquatics Championships. She finished 9th in the 3 meter springboard and 8th in the 1 meter springboard. She is currently the Irish record holder in both events. Newly qualified for the Olympics, Tanya Watson finished 10th in the 10 metre platform. She scored 275.10 points. Ciara Magging was also in action in the 10 metres, but unfortunately did not advance to the final. She finished 13th overall, missing out on a final by a very, very cruel 1 place. So all good news anyways around the diving. I think diving is like my secret, going my new obsessive sport for the Olympics. I think it's going to be my one. Like I can feel it already.
Sport. In triathlon, Carolyn Hayes was competing in Tokyo a year after the Olympic qualification process was suspended. She has finished in 42nd place in a time of 2 hours, 2 minutes and 2 seconds. So that's very easy to remember. She will be competing over the next few months, hoping to secure her place at the Olympic Games. Her best 6 races will count towards improving her 51st world ranking. to try and get that qualification spot. In hockey news, Ireland were playing Scotland in a 2-game series. Ireland had convincing wins with the results at 5-1 and 4-1. These are the final games before the EuroHockey Championships kicks off in the Netherlands. The team heading to the tournament will be announced this Thursday.
In golf news, Olivia Mehaffey is in action at the Nationals this weekend at Greyhawk. It's her last few weeks with Arizona State as she starts to prepare her professional golfing career. Olivia is going to make her professional debut at the Symetra Tours Mission in Resort and the Club Championship. So we wish her all the best with moving forward in her professional career. It's great to have so many golfers in the professional rankings at this stage. In LGFA news, for a second year in a row, unfortunately, there will be no under 14, under 16 or under 18 season for ladies football. The Ladies Gaelic Football Association defended their decision, citing player welfare as a key factor, highlighting underage players will be playing 5 days a week from July to August because of overlapping club and inter-county games in both camogie and football. An All-Ireland Championship is obviously organised for the male players. LGFA claim very few boys actually played under 17 football in comparison to adult ladies football, which,
It's a bit weak.
Yeah, bit ox. Cork Ladies Football Committee hit out saying, what message are we sending to these girls? You were too weak to handle the multiple facets of life, but a boy can. Obviously, it's just incredibly disappointing and frustrating for everyone involved. I think given how we know how safe outdoor sports is, we know that this is a radical year. So
it's not COVID. They're not even not even referring to it as COVID. They're talking about the 5 games during the week and that kind of thing, but like realistically it's July and August, so they're going to be off school, so there's plenty of time for rest and recovery and really managing players' game time and that type of thing. And
this is it, and as I said, it's a radical, like, this is once up, like, this is once ever this is going to happen, so I think you'd actually kind of gear yourself up. I know clubs obviously will struggle, a lot of would be like using a lot of their underage and their senior adult, but I think a lot of them would understand that given the year that's in it, I think people actually are crazy to go out and play football, and people really want to, and people are crazy to watch football irrespective of what it is. So I think it is a really bad decision overall from the LGFA, and I think, as the Cork statement obviously said, it doesn't really send out a good message to girls. I think boys are obviously in a similar position in clubs here. I know my own local club, like a couple of the underage boys would have to play senior to make up numbers. They don't care. They're happy to do whatever they need to do.
Absolutely.
And I think as well as both male and ladies footballers will actually tell you, the younger you are, the more exciting it is. The more you want to go out and play games, the more energy you have. You don't want to be training. You want to be playing games. So an incredibly disappointing, in my opinion, statement from the LGFA. It was a bit weak, as you said, in what they said. And I think they really had run out of excuses. They couldn't use COVID. They couldn't use anything else. So I don't know. There was just really no reason for it. And I think something does, and honest, have to be done.
I think one of the arguments that has come up is in relation to the fact that, like, you can play under 14s or under 16s or under 18s for a finite period of time, where you can play adult level sport for once you're over 18, or you could be playing from the time you're 16 or whatever it might be. So there's no limit on that. And I think it's just really disappointing, and particularly are some of these clubs more competitive at underage level? Might they have more opportunities at underage level than at adult level? It doesn't encourage athletes to want to stay, because you also have to remember that these are junior athletes. They're not being kind of afforded the opportunity to compete this year, so then to get the opportunity to compete, they have to go up into the adult setup, where they mightn't be developed enough to get a spot on the team. Like, you would expect that a lot of the players might kind of be the subs, or whatever the position may be. Like, obviously you may have some people that are the part of the starting team, but if you have a whole team move up, there's only a certain number of players on the pitch at one time, so you can't just put your whole under 18s team on the pitch because you want to give them a game. So it's not promising for kind of future development. It's going to have people lose interest in the sport, and I agree, bad decision by the LGFA, and it's just very disappointing, I think, all around. In Rugby Sevens news, there was a 3-day tournament between Ireland, France and Great Britain. Ireland were very competitive with France. They had 1 win and 2 losses, but one of the first game was actually very, very close, and they lost by only 2 points. they played Great Britain and they had 2 losses and a draw in the final match. So they seemed to improve as the tournament went on against GB. So maybe they got to know the team a bit better and pinpoint some of their weaknesses a bit more to go up against them. We certainly look forward to some more action soon. I remember the first time I watched a Rugby Sevens match, and it's just so quick. There's so much going on. It's a really exciting game.
So thrilling.
That's all we have for you this week in sport. Lots going on, lots more to come. Definitely tune into all the different competitions that are coming. There'll be more coming over the next few weeks. So that's all for now. If you want to tune into us on social media, follow us on Her Sport at hersport.e on Instagram and Twitter. And Joanne, what are your Instagram and Twitter handles?
Yep, if you want to see me flooding your timeline with Barca Femini winning the UEFA Women's Champions League, by all means hit me up on social at JoanneOR_OX on Twitter and at JoanneOR. I mean, Visca Barcelona, what can I say? I'm a happy gal. Haircut, European champ. It's not a bad week for me so far.
A good week, and it's only Tuesday.
See you later, Niamh.
Brilliant. Bye.